Welcome students in the next lecture on vector spaces. In the previous lecture we have discussed the basis set, mainly the linear combination, linear independence, linear dependence and the basis. Now our goal is to reach up to orthogonal basis. So before we proceed further, I like to discuss a few concepts uh, which are very important in that way. The first one is the inner product space. Fine. So what is the inner product basically? We know the dot product in the vectors. Suppose two vectors are given. The first is a u is equal to u1 comma u2 comma u3, and the another vector is v1 v2 v3. If these two vectors are given, then we can easily calculate its dot product as u dot v is equal to u1 v1 plus u2 v2 plus u3 v3. Is it? And if you just look at u and v are the vector quantities and its dot product gives me the scalar quantity. Is it? Now what is inner product basically? Inner product is generalization. Inner product is a generalization of dot product. Are you clear with this? Inner product is a generalization of dot product. Fine. So in vector space, the inner product is a way to multiply vectors together with the result of this multiplication being a scalar quantity. So whenever we go on calculate a inner product of two vectors, we get a scalar quantity. Fine. So as I discussed here, inner product is generalization of the dot product. So inner product of two vectors is usually denoted by there are two cross brackets. In between them, we are writing the two vectors u and v. So it can be defined according to the given set. Okay. So there are various different inner products we can define, no doubt. But one more thing, that what is inner product space? So inner product space is a vector space. That is very important. Is a vector space. Fine. Now u, v and w belongs to the vector space V, and alpha b scalar then it should satisfy the following condition. B scalar. Okay, I just wrote this word with a b together, so it's okay. Be the scalar and satisfies following conditions. Now, what are the following conditions? The first one is the inner product of u plus v with a w. The inner product of u plus v with a w is given as inner product of u with a w plus inner product of v with a w. Fine. The another property is inner product of alpha v comma w will be given as alpha into inner product of v comma w. The third property is inner product of v with a w is same as inner product of w with v, that is commutative. And the fourth one is very important. Inner product of u with v, any two vectors, either you can take u, v, u, w, v, w, whatever it is. The inner product of any two vectors, I missed that. The inner product of a vector with itself, that's very important. The inner product of vector with itself. The inner product of u with u, inner product of v with v, inner product of w with w, any vector you select and take its inner product with itself, it should be greater than or equal to 0. If inner product of u with u is 0, it should be greater than or equal to 0. And if the inner product of u with u is 0, if and only if u equal to 0. This is very important. Fine. So if all these four properties are satisfied by the vector space under the defined inner product, then the same vector space is called as a inner product space. Fine. Now the question comes, why we are going to discuss these additional concepts? And because we are interested in the orthogonal basis. So before we proceed for the orthogonal vectors, we need to define what is inner product first. Fine. So now what are the concepts are coming? The first one is Euclidean inner product. Euclidean inner product. We are mainly working on the real spaces R1, R2, R3, R4 and so on, Rn, whatever you want, you select. Fine. Now Euclidean inner product is nothing but a dot product of the two vectors. So if U is equal to U1, U2, and so on, Un, the vector V is equal to V1, V2, and so on, Vn are any two vectors in Rn, are any two vectors in Rn, then the inner product, or say then Euclidean. Euclidean inner product of UV denoted by, of UV given by, instead of denoted I like given by, U inner product of UV is equal to U dot V. That is, inner product of U with V is equal to U dot V. As it is a Euclidean inner product, it is nothing but a dot product. So we are going to calculate dot product of two vectors. So what is the dot product of these two vectors? So the dot product will be U1 V1 plus U2 V2 plus and so on plus UN Vn. Is this clear? Fine. Now the question comes, what is meant by orthogonal vector? Euclidean inner product is clear? Okay. So Euclidean inner product is dot product. Now we are mainly working on the Rn spaces, that is R1, R2, R3 spaces, that is real spaces. Hence, we will define the orthogonality for them. Orthogonal vectors. Two vectors are orthogonal if their dot product is 0. That is U dot V is equal to 0. Then we say that the given two vectors are orthogonal. Fine. Okay. Now, few more small concepts are necessary for further discussions. Okay. Yeah, one more is a Euclidean norm. Euclidean norm of a vector. Suppose U be the vector given as U1, U2 and so on Un belongs to Rn, then norm of U is nothing but square root of U1 square plus U2 square plus and so on plus Un square. Is it? Fine. Now we can define certain properties on the norm also. I am not going into details of it. You can get it easily available on the internet also. Similarly, the distance between two vectors, distance between the 2 points, that distance formula also works with the vectors under the Euclidean norm. Fine. Okay. Now let's move to our very important point. One problem I like to discuss. Find the unit vector in R3 orthogonal to given two vectors. That's a very important question, which was asked in the university exam also. Okay, write down the statement first. Find the unit vector in R3. Find a unit vector in R3 orthogonal to both, orthogonal to both u is equal to 1 comma 0 comma 1 and v is equal to 0 comma 1 comma 1. Fine. So such vector we need to calculate. Suppose, okay, we'll begin with the one vector. Suppose w is equal to w1, w2, w3 be orthogonal to u and v. So therefore we get u dot w, that is, what is u vector? 1 comma 0 comma 1 dot product with w1 comma w2 comma w3. The dot product will be w1 plus w3, which is equals to 0. As it is orthogonal to u and v both, so of course their dot product with u and v should be 0. Second, v dot w will be 0 comma 1 comma 1 dot product with w1 comma w2 comma w3 is equal to w2 plus w3, which is also equal to 0. Fine. So by Cramer's rule, which you already studied in the determinant section, by the Cramer's rule, the w1 and the w2 and the w3 will gives me, okay. So how you can proceed for this? Okay, I'll just write this in simple way. This is nothing but w1 plus 0 into w plus w3. Fine. Here, just a minute, 0 into w1 plus w2 plus w3. Fine. As we are going to calculate, we are going to find out the determinant part of the w1. So skip the w1 coefficients of w1, select the remaining. So we have the w2 coefficient is 0, w3 coefficient is 1 in the first equation, and here 1, 1. Fine. Now calculate this determinant value. What is the determinant value? 0 minus 1. So hence we'll get here 0 minus 1. The middle term having the minus sign in the numerator. Okay, now this is for the W2. So delete the middle column and select the coefficient of W1 and W3. So which is 1, 1, 0, 1. Now if you solve this determinant, we get 1 minus 0. And for the W3, you skip the W3, the coefficients of W3 and select W1, W2, W1 and W2 from both equations. So which gives me again 1 minus 0. So in this implies, this ratio in Cramer's rule, this ratio is constant, which is equal to some value k. Fine. So from this, what I'm getting, w upon w1 upon minus 1, which is minus w1, is equal to k. From this equation, we get minus w2 upon 1, that is minus w2 is equal to k, and from this we get w3 is equal to k. That is w1 is minus k, w2 is also minus k, and w3 is equal to k. Fine. So since the norm of w is 1, okay, as we need to calculate a orthogonal vector, which is we need to calculate a unit vector which is orthogonal to u and v. As it is a unit vector, hence since a orthogonal vector which is unit vector, since w is unit vector, norm of w is 1. Is it? Now norm of w is equal to 1 means what? It is the square root of w1 square plus a w2 square plus a w3 square, should be 1. But what is w1? W1 is nothing but, okay, it's squaring on both sides, we get w1 square plus w2 square plus w3 square is equal to 1. Now substitute the value of w1, w2 and w3, which is k square plus k square plus k square. Why k square, k square, k square? W1 is minus k, and here we are taking W1 square. So we get minus k square, which is k square itself. So their addition will be 1. So we get 3k square is equal to 1. Therefore, k square will be 1 by 3. Fine. Now what will be the value of k? The k will be 1 upon square root of 3. Is it? As it is, we are deriving it from the norm. So hence we consider the positive square roots. Fine. So what is the value of k? The k will be 1 by root 3. So hence my W1 will be minus 1 upon root 3. W2 will be minus 1 upon root 3. And W3 will be 1 by. This is 1. So this implies k is equal to plus or minus 1 by root 3. So when I consider k as a positive root, we get this. Okay, now we consider the negative roots also. As k is a constant, so it may be minus 1 upon root 3. So hence in that case, your W1 will be 1 upon root 3, W2 will be 1 upon root 3, and W3 will be minus 1 upon root 3. Both are the possibilities. Are you clear with that? So either your W vector is this or this one. So this is how one can calculate a unit vector in R3, which is orthogonal to both the given vectors. Fine. So in some of the previous examination, it has been observed that this type of questions are asked. Fine. Now come to the next point, that is a projection vectors. Orthogonal projection of vector. Orthogonal projection of vector u. Okay. Fine. Okay. So sometimes we need to decompose a vector u into sum of two vectors, one in the direction of a given non-zero vector and other in the direction perpendicular to the vector. Fine. Suppose W is my vector. If I want to find its decomposition, say W1 plus W2, then W1 in the direction of W and W2 is in perpendicular direction of W. Fine. So the vector component W1 in the direction of W is called the orthogonal projection of W on A. Is it? Fine. So how you calculate these projections? So if I want a W1 and W in the decomposition of W1 plus W2, okay, I'll write the W. What is W1 first? So their projection of W in the direction of A will be given as U dot A upon norm A square into A vector. Fine. And if I want the W2, which can be given as U minus, sorry, not U. If we want the W2 now, then W2 will be given as W minus projection of W over A, that is U minus U dot A upon norm A square into A. Fine. We are going to discuss this more in detail with further topics, but whatever the discussion is going on, I'll try to recover it. I'll try to discuss the same point here only, that is orthogonal projection of vector u. Fine. Okay. So now now we are coming with our actual discussion, that is orthonormal basis. That is our very important point. Orthonormal basis. So whenever I say the vector is orthonormal, it should be a first orthogonal. For example, u and v are two given vectors for me. Then if then I say u and v are orthonormal, then basically they must be orthogonal. Then only orthonormal will be possible. Fine. So whenever we say the two vectors are orthonormal, they are orthogonal anyhow. So we write the definition first. A set of vectors in an inner product space is called orthogonal set if all the distinct vectors are orthogonal. That means inner product of u with v is 0. Okay, I write the definition. A set of vectors in an inner product space is called orthogonal is called the orthogonal set if all the distinct vectors if all distinct vectors are orthogonal. That means what? Suppose I have a set S consists of the vectors v1, v2 and so on vn. The set is orthogonal if inner product of vi with a vj should be 0 for I equal to j equals to 1, 2 and so on n. But I is not equal to j. Fine. Okay, I wrote the equality sign between them. So I and j running from 1 to and so on up to n, but I is not equal to j. Fine. Now, when we call it as an orthonormal set, if the norm of each vector in the orthogonal set is 1, norm of each vector in orthogonal set is 1, then it is called orthonormal set. Then it is called orthonormal set. Is this clear? Okay. So just see the definition again. In next lecture, I will focus on the problems based on the orthonormal basis and some few concepts, and then in next lecture I would like to discuss the Gram-Schmidt process as also. Fine. Okay. So thank you everyone. We'll meet in the next lecture.